In our last episode, we had a rather uncomfortable confrontation with the Minutemen at the Grey Garden homestead. After resolving the situation one way or another, we head back to Father at the Institute to find out what he has next for us. And he has the exact same dialogue no matter how we chose to get Mr. Wallace back to the Institute.
Ah, there you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time. And it's all thanks to you.
Well, maybe it's because I'm the only one who seems to actually be doing anything.
Come now. Countless hours have been spent building and readying the reactor. True, you have endured some of the more dangerous missions. Such is the price of leadership.
A lot of work went into this before I even arrived. Just how close are we?
It shouldn't take long at all. The Facilities Division has it well in hand.
Let's just get the rest of it done.
Yes, quite.
I'm proud to help the Institute. Here's hoping it all pays off.
At this point, there is no doubt. It will succeed, and very shortly. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth, to request that they do not interfere with our plans. You should be the one to do it.
What kind of announcement are we talking about?
A broadcast. An announcement to the Commonwealth that the Institute is not to be trifled with. As the incoming director, that responsibility naturally falls to you.
Right, because no one up there suspects the Institute exists.
This is not a joke. There has been too much posturing by too many groups. The world needs to know that we are in power and the Commonwealth is ours. As the incoming director, it is your responsibility to lead, to establish that place for the Institute's future. Please take this seriously.
You've got to be kidding me.
Absolutely not. You are to be the director of the Institute. You are the only reasonable choice for so important a task.
That's a good idea. Hopefully we can prevent violence and save some lives.
Yes, that is one goal. And if you are to be the new director of the Institute, you should be the one to do it. We've prepared some remarks for you to record. Once you're finished, we'll broadcast them to the entire Commonwealth. Use the microphone here and follow the script. It's quite simple. I'm sure you'll do fine, Father.
And at last, the mask is removed. The Commonwealth is ours, says Father. The Institute is in power. Oh, and by the way, saving lives? Yeah, that's one goal, kind of a little side issue there. We'll put a pin in that for later, if we get to it. All right, let's see what this script is that the Institute has written up for us. We can read the announcement script. Let's see. People of the Commonwealth, for years now you have suspected that the Institute still exists, that we are among you. It is true, but it is not the whole truth. We are the future. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will preserve long after the world above ground has ceased to exist, ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your daily lives. We simply ask that you do not interfere with the Institute operations. To do so would result in dire consequences. You may rest easy. Know that the future is in safe hands, that mankind will thrive under our guidance. Yikes. This script was prepared by the best minds of the Institute. They really don't care what anyone above ground thinks of them. They think everyone above ground is unimportant. Their daily lives are inconsequential. And they fully expect everyone topside to die out and humanity to live on only underground in the Institute. Right, well, we see the microphone over here by this terminal. Let's prepare our broadcast voice. Apple, apple, meow, ooey, ma, 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 wah, 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 wah. Rrr, rrr.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists, that we are among you. It is true, but it is not the whole truth. We're here, and we are.
And here, Nate has an opportunity to take some creative liberty with the script. We could say that the Institute is
in control.
Or that the Institute is
here to help.
Or that the Institute is.
Your new masters.
Or that the Institute is.
The future. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your...
We could say that we don't plan to interfere with their...
pointless struggles.
Or their...
personal freedoms.
Or their...
pathetic existences.
Or their...
daily lives. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in...
We could say that it would result in...
unnecessary difficulties for all parties.
Or that it would result in...
tragedy for all involved.
Or that it would result in...
your complete annihilation.
Or that it would result in...
dire consequences. Rest easy. Know that the future is...
We could say that the future is...
looking bright.
Or that the future is...
underground.
Or that the future is...
out of your control.
Or that the future is...
in safe hands. And that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
And with that, we record the speech, and we can get Father's reaction.
Well, that was interesting.
If we altered the script in any way, he says,
Perhaps not what we originally intended, but it will certainly get your point across.
but if we stayed on script, he skips that part and moves straight on to...
Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
What do you want with Diamond City?
Nothing with the city itself. This is a bit of a shortcut, actually.
I'll go if it's necessary.
It absolutely is.
There must be someone else you can send for whatever this is.
We don't have any other reliable above-ground operatives, and the locals are somewhat familiar with you.
I could use some fresh air.
A quaint phrase, though I'm afraid the air there is anything but fresh. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcasts, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured that the necessary parts are on site. You'll just need to install them to boost the broadcasting power. Report back when you're done. We should be ready by then.
And now we go to Diamond City. It looks like we need to hijack Travis Lonely Miles' radio signal. But we can improve the signal. Travis has all the gear on site. He must not know how it works if he hasn't improved the signal by now.
Good place to stock up on supplies, if you can stand the smell.
You hear about the battle between the Brotherhood and the Institute? The one at Bunker Hill? A bunch of people got killed or something. Total bloodbath.
Heading to Diamond City, we can make our way to Diamond City Radio, the trailer on stilts above Shang's Pond.
Hi there.
He doesn't seem to be comfortable with our presence. We can try to talk with Travis here.
Travis.
Okay. I usually don't. This is why.
And he's just as charming as we remember. Well, to boost this signal, we need to find some spare parts. Thankfully, in a metal box beneath the console, we find a radio thing with buttons, a radio thing with dials, and a radio thing with tubes. We can loot these and try to find a good spot for them. We see 3 empty slots here. Activating the first one, a piece of equipment can be mounted in this slot. We can install the thing with dials, install the thing with tubes, or install the thing with buttons. We'll try the dials.
Okay, let's try this.
Nothing appears to change.
Don't break my stuff if you don't mind.
Oh, don't worry, Travis. When I'm done, your radio signal will be better than ever. If we can figure this out, next we can try to install the thing with tubes.
Maybe this goes here?
Nothing happens. And so finally, we'll install the thing with buttons.
Alright, in you go.
Well, this was a big bag of nothing. Clearly, we did something wrong. But we need to remove all of these slots to figure out what. In this leftmost console, we can now try to install the thing with buttons. Aha! So this is the indicator showing us how strong the signal is. We've chosen the right slot, which gave us 3 green bars.
This radio station, well, you'll notice there aren't any other ones. So,
Well, don't worry. Yeah, I'm not going to break it, Travis. Just trying to boost your signal here. Next, we can try the thing with the tubes. Ooh, nothing happens. Well, then that means it's wrong. So we can move over to this other slot and install the thing with tubes here. Bingo. That brings us up to 4 green bars. And finally, we can install the thing with dials in the final slot.
hey, I mean, hi. Again, hi? Hi.
There you go, Travis. Your broadcast is better than ever, so we're just gonna leave you to it. On our way out, we can hear what Diamond City Security has to say about X688.
Listen, your pal there is kinda scaring the crap out of me.
And they're not fans. To find Father back at the Institute, we move into Advanced Systems. And here we find T.S. Wallace hard at work. If we kidnapped him from the Grey Garden homestead in our last video, he's still a bit miffed.
I suppose I'm better off here, in the long run. I wouldn't have minded making my own decision about coming here, you know? Excuse me, I have things to do. I assure you I'm being productive.
However, if we passed a charisma check in our last episode to convince him to come here, he's much more at peace.
Aye, to think I'd be above ground, suffering, I'm much better off here. This place really is remarkable. I'm glad you talked me into coming here.
Hey there.
So many projects, so little time.
We see the laser grid protecting this wing of Advanced Systems is removed. We can now pass through this hallway to enter the Institute reactor. We arrive in what appears to be a much older section of the Institute. We do see some Institute technology and consoles here, but it appears to be a pre-war section of the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. In this room we find some Rad-X and Radaway and a little bit of scrap, but the only way out is to go up a tunnel to the west. We see this tunnel is lined with machine gun turrets. Looks like Father's not taking any chances. At the end of the hallway, we find a control room filled with scrap and a few consoles. This has a window overlooking the reactor, but to get to it, we have to open a door to the west and head down a long staircase to enter a room at the bottom of the reactor level. Here we find a hooded clean room suit on a console, some minor scrap in the lockers, some more Radaway, a first aid kit next to some chemical showers, and some decontamination arches. We find many of the directors of the Institute standing below a platform upon which stands Sean. Appears like he's about ready to give a speech. We can talk to each of the directors.
I've been avoiding my quarters. I can't bear to be there without Liam. Too many memories.
Best part of my day is coming home to my girls.
Enrico was the guy we helped out at the Grey Garden homestead, and if we left Higgs alive, we find him here as well.
I wasn't expecting you to let us live. That surprised me.
Good to see you. Feeling well today?
So you'll be the new director, huh? Father always did like to challenge our assumptions.
All this advanced technology, and we still can't cure the common cold.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Rosalind, chill out. Sure, you're a genius, but come on, we haven't even activated that clunker in the basement yet. Speaking of which, heading up the stairs, we find Father waiting for us.
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then? The transmitter has been modified.
I'm all set. But what about the reactor?
The initial round of tests is finished. All readings are nominal, so yes, I think we're ready.
If we're going to turn this thing on, let's get to it.
Yes, I do believe it's time.
Of course it is. Wasn't hard to do at all.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to question you. That is... Well, it's just such an important moment. Decades in the making.
Everything is in place. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors. This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked towards. After all your effort, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outpacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish, and we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future. The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you. All of you.
With that, the assembled scientists depart. They don't stick around to see us flip the switch. To do so, we can move over to this terminal. If we can get X6 to stop playing with it. Hey, move. There we go. CIT, Reactor Main Control Station. Warning, high levels of radiation are likely present in reactor chamber. Check current status of radiation levels before entering. Use of proper radiation protection, regardless of radiation levels, is highly encouraged. We find one option. We can choose reactor status. Connection to reactor established, reactor status offline. We can examine the radiation levels inside the reactor. Radiation level inside reactor low. Warning, exercise caution when entering reactor regardless of radiation levels. We could try to initiate the reactor startup sequence. Reactor startup protocol activated, reactor core exposed, required components missing. Reactor startup unsuccessful. That's right, we've got to install the beryllium agitator.
I'm glad you could be here to share this with me.
I'm glad to, Sean. I guess. Moving to the reactor, we can open the door. Here we find the reactor core, and we are not taking any rads. Carefully, we can remove the beryllium agitator and install it. With that, the reactor comes to life. Backing out, we can close the reactor door. Then moving over to the terminal, we can navigate to reactor status and again try to initiate the reactor startup sequence. This time we read, reactor startup successful. With the reactor on, we begin to take rads as we get close to it. Standing outside the door, we take up to 17 rads per second. If we open it and walk in, we can take up to 80 rads per second. So, we'll just leave this thing alone now. With the reactor online, we can talk to Father.
It's almost hard to believe. After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
We're all responsible for this success.
Spoken like a true leader. I'm proud of you.
I did good work, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, you did.
The job's done. That's what matters.
Don't lose sight of the fact that you're to be thanked for this.
Now that the reactor works, what's next for the Institute?
We'll get to that. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. You should be there as Director.
And with that, Sean makes us Director of the Institute. It's time to attend our second Directorate meeting, this time as the head honcho. Exploring the catwalks above and around the reactor, we find a couple of minor containers with ammunition and radaway inside. In a box at the end of the catwalk, we find a bunch of purified water. Don't know if I want to drink this, so close to a nuclear reactor. Heading down to the ground floor, we find an ammo box and a first aid kit. But aside from that, all we get for our efforts is a little bit of radiation poisoning. With the reactor room explored and the reactor turned on, we can pass through advanced systems, and on our way out, we see Sean, well, the synth Sean, lying in bed. We haven't talked to him since we came back. Let's see how he is.
Hi, Sean.
I heard you're gonna be in charge of the Institute someday. That sounds like a lot of work. Are you excited or scared?
You heard that, did you? From who?
Oh, I heard Dr. Higgs saying that you weren't qualified, and we'd all be lucky if we lived another 2 years. He's so funny sometimes.
Right now, kid, I'm bored with this conversation. Come on.
Okay, maybe we could talk more later.
Maybe a little scared. It's a very big responsibility.
Yeah. Father says that the Institute is the only hope for people left in the world. And if you're in charge, that means that it's all your fault if something got messed up.
I'm excited, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would be too. Because then you could just tell everyone what to do. Like you can make Dr. Watson tell me all the secrets he's hiding. Or you could tell Quentin that he has to be nice to me from now on. That'd be neat.
You look like you're keeping busy. What's new?
I learned how to take apart a biometric scanner, all by myself. Isn't that cool?
Tell me some more about Father.
Father? He doesn't come to visit very much these days. And even when he does, he usually just talks to the other doctors.
You ever feel like someone's just pulling your strings?
Huh?
You seem like you're always in a good mood, kid.
Well, sure. Why wouldn't I be?
Of course, he doesn't remember meeting us earlier. He was wiped after that conversation. It's sad to learn that after the experiment was over, Father essentially abandoned Sean. Doesn't come to visit him, and when he does, talks to the other people. I wonder what kind of life young Synth Sean here has to look forward to. Heading to the boardroom, we can take a seat at the head of the table.
Our synth at Warwick sent his first report. Thanks for taking care of that.
May I be the first to welcome you, sir. We're looking forward to working with you.
What kind of work will we be doing exactly?
Well, normally the Directorate reviews and approves research tracks for the various divisions. Today, however, we're here for a different reason.
Don't patronize me, Doctor. I'm the one in charge here.
Everyone in the Directorate has a say, sir.
I'm happy to be here, Dr. Fillmore. I hope I do the position justice.
I'm sure you will.
Let's just get down to business.
Yes, of course.
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
Where are you going with this? What's the Institute's goal?
Well...
We'll be much better able to defend ourselves. It's a good position.
True, but I don't think we should stop there.
So you're saying we can now wage war on the Commonwealth?
I don't think anyone really intended that as a course of action.
I'm sure the reactor will improve everyone's life. It's a great accomplishment.
Yes, but it's not just that. The Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
Shouldn't we wait and see? Give the announcement some time to sink in before acting.
That would be stupid. Sitting on our hands would only give them time to prepare.
We've all agreed that action must be taken.
I think the last thing the Institute needs now is to make things worse. We should be trying to avoid conflict, not starting it.
I would love to see that big airship fly off over the horizon, but it's not gonna happen. The conflict is already upon us. Unless we end it now, it's only going to get worse.
We really don't have a choice. If we're to emerge from this the victors, we need to move quickly.
If this has to happen, we keep the violence to a minimum. We're not out to destroy the Commonwealth.
Of course. It was never the intention to cause more harm than is necessary.
I agree. We hit them hard, before they have time to react to our new position.
Good. That's just what I wanted to hear.
As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
Well, if we increase synth production, we'd be able to deploy more of them to the Commonwealth to aid in our operations. Weapon development would improve the weapons we have available to us now, making our synths more effective in the field. Which would you prefer we focus on?
I've seen enough to know that weapons are the key to winning wars. Let's focus on weapons development.
As you wish. The advanced systems folks will get to work immediately.
Synths are the Institute's greatest strength. The more we have, the better off we are.
Well said. I'll see that the necessary steps are taken.
I'll tell you what. You make the call. Surprise me.
Okay then. I'll come up with something. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
At last, we have power adequate to our needs.
With that, we complete the quest, Powering Up, and to begin the quest, End of the Line. We now need to speak with Father. The drums of war are beginning to beat here at the Institute. With the reactor running, the Institute now has a boldness they haven't had before. Not that they've been timid at all, going where they want with their synths, when they want, having their way with people and towns alike. I found it interesting that even though we are now the director, we apparently don't have the power to not go to war. The Directorate already agreed. The Brotherhood must be dealt with. And even though we're the director, we can't stop it. It's good to see the directorate can curtail their director, but if they can prevent us from keeping the Institute from going to war, I wonder what prevented them from stopping Father from naming us his successor. And apparently the decision that we just made as director has no ramifications in the game. Whether we chose to make Institute weapons stronger or to increase synth production, in my game, I never noticed either actually happening, and I couldn't find any evidence online of anyone else noticing a change as well. With the reactor online, periodically, from time to time, we can hear our own voice on Diamond City Radio.
People of the Commonwealth. For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists, that we are among you. It is true, but it is not the whole truth. We are here, and we are the future.
And every now and then, people in Diamond City have something to say about it.
What the heck was that Institute guy talking about? The above world will cease to exist? I don't like the sound of that.
However, they don't appear to have different dialogue based on the choices we made during the recording. I tried 4 different variations of the recording, each with completely different choices, and only ever got the same response from Diamond City Security. We now have to meet with Father, but I'm all out of time. We'll see what it is he has to say to us in our next episode. I publish new Fallout episodes each and every week on this channel, so if you don't want to miss that episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I have a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on other items as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you'd like to support me in another way, consider giving me a super thanks on this video. Your super thanks directly contribute to the production of this series. You can become a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos and access to Ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next episode in the full story of Fallout 4.
Buy a swatter!
Hi.
Hey, you're that vault dweller from the paper.
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history lesson. You're getting pretty chummy with that reporter, huh? Be careful there. The mayor's got it in for her.
Can't afford to let your guard down, no matter how quiet things seem.
Mentats, hoof out, stim packs, jet, everything to even you out.
You read the paper? Damn sense. Hiding among us.